Hunters, SkySensei here with another build video. Today we're going over the final boss of Malzeno armor. I've created a fun hybrid which I've called the Vampire build. Creative, I know, very creative. So we're going to go over 3 builds today. The Vampire build, a more risky but higher DPS version, and then a comfier version in that order. So if you're curious about only one of them based on your own playstyle, be sure to check the timestamps below. Full disclaimer here as usual. These are based on my charms that I have, and you guys might have different charms that you can use, so you may need to shift around a couple of the skills to be able to fit it into your build. The beauty of Master Rank is that there's a lot more customization, so hopefully you guys can take these as a template and be able to change some of the stuff up to fit your needs. So, jumping into the build. This build utilizes the special armor skills of Malzeno and the final boss. Dereliction from the final boss is a skill which boosts your stats based on the scroll you have on. Element and statuses get boosted when you have the red scroll, raw attack and stun potency on the blue scroll. That is a pretty wild skill. On the blue scroll itself, it grants 15 plus attack straight up just by being on that scroll, and plus 10 element on red scroll. So it's great for boosting damage, but the risk is that the damage is gained from your own life force. My guess on the lore is that we've somehow been able to control the Qurio, which we've seen throughout the story of Sunbreak, and they grant us the extra power at the expense of our own life force. So basically you lose health at a constant rate and you have to watch your health throughout the hunt. It does give you the ability to heal yourself though once enough time has passed and you have multiple Quirios circling around you. When you switch skill, it uses up all but one Qurio that's circling around you and heals your health. So I combined this skill with the Malzeno's unique armor skill which is known as Rite. Rite steals the monster's life force and grants you a portion of your damage back to your health when you hit a broken monster part. So putting these together, later in a hunt you can heal while losing health to the Qurio without needing to switch skill, so it doesn't really break the flow of your hunt. Now this first build is the balanced build that I put together. It has a high risk but only one armor of Malzeno, the chest piece which gives you level 1 Rite. Now the reason for this is because the 3 Archfiend armor actually grants you resentment, and I added one more jewel to max it out. I'm pushing for damage on this build at the expense of risk, so now not only do I get bonus damage from the blue scroll, but as long as the Qurio is still eating my health faster than I heal, I gain an extra plus 25 on attack with resentment, which gives me extra damage when I have red health. Now of course, as you may have noted, the Malzeno Rite doesn't kick in at the start of a hunt. Your goal with this build is to focus on breaking one part as fast as possible at the start of a hunt. Once you do, you can go and focus on other parts to break, but then you always have that one part that you can come back to if you need heals. Malzeno's chest piece has 1 part breaker, and I added one more to give you 20% part breaker. You can replace protective polish or critical resentment if you wish for more part breaker. This honestly will depend on the monster you fight. Some monsters have very sturdy parts, but others you can break really easily. So I felt Part Breaker 2 was pretty balanced for this build in my opinion. The other skills that I've added here are to fit with the blade that I picked for this build. I chose the Shagaru Magala blade, the Magala. It's got a nice base raw damage of 300 and a high dragon damage of 45. It's fairly balanced in terms of mixing raw damage and dragon, depending on the monster you're fighting. Great monsters to fight with this weapon include Raytheon, Rathlos, Apex Mizu, the final boss himself, elder dragons like Malzeno, Ibushi, and Shagaru Magala. So I did design this build with this weapon in mind. I added 1 handicraft and 2 protective polish on the first build here. It was enough for the general use of the weapon. The only time I see you losing purple sharpness is if you're very super efficient in a hunt and you trap the monster in one area without giving yourself a break. The blade already comes with 35% affinity, so on top of that, Weakness X-Blade brings you up to 85% affinity on good hit zones, which is ideal for this build. You really want to be focusing those good hit zones to break and create your healing spots on the body itself using Rite. So yeah, I highly recommend you guys try this build out. It's really fun, really exciting. It just gets your heart pumping when you know you're breaking parts and you know now you can heal. You don't have to worry about your health as much and you can keep going and focusing on that damage. Now, healing is cool and all, but how about if you just don't want to heal and want to get all the damage possible? I recommend this second build then. This is the highest dealing damage build in this video. Instead of the Malzeno chest piece, I just added the 4th Archfiend final boss armor. So you completely lose the Malzeno healing and you just take damage from the Qurio from Dereliction. This change though does allow you to add 2 more jewels since resentment becomes inherent in the chest piece. With my attack 3 charm, I was able to max out attack here, and I replaced protective polish with master touch maxed out. With 1 handicraft, This blade has a very comfy purple sharpness. You'll again notice, unless you're trapping the monster in an area, you should have purple all the way through with good hit zones. Master Touch does help on this build because again, you're focusing those good critical hit zones, so it will take some time to practice and learn and be able to maintain that purple sharpness. This build is the most punishing since you only have the switch skill to heal your health and then potions on top of that. High risk, high reward, very high reward. So I recommend you guys try this out if you're looking for a challenge. The final build here is the Comfy Vampire build. Now this one kind of goes in the opposite direction and gives you much more healing. The 2-piece Malzeno maxes out Blood Rite at level 3. Seriously though, this healing is nuts. On a broken part, you get so much health back per hit that you can be completely healed in one Glaive combo. This build does have the lowest damage of the 3 since you are prioritizing healing, but still decent damage and you're still taking advantage of Dereliction and Max Resentment. Since you have so much more healing though, you will have to attack other body parts after a break. If you keep hitting the same broken body part, you will heal too much constantly and lose the resentment bonus. Remember, resentment only appears when you have red health. Dereliction will keep your health in the red immediately after you stop healing. But ideally what you want to do is hit other body parts, break those until your health gets too low, then you go back to the broken parts and heal yourself. You will probably hit white sharpness with this build since it doesn't have as many jewel slots. So just keep that in mind that you might need to get on your dog and run around to sharpen before you get back into the fight. So that's it for the builds. There is one more thing that I want to mention, the scroll setup. Since you are using Dereliction, you need to make sure that your high raw damage attacks are on the blue scroll. This means Awakened Kinsect attack should not be on the blue scroll. Dereliction does not affect the Awakened Kinsect, so it must be on your red scroll. All the other skills can be mixed and matched to your preference, so it's just important to note this here. So yeah, that's it for the build video, guys. I've had a ton of fun with these and I use them in very different situations. If I'm hunting solo, with friends, I'm trying really hard, or just hunting on autopilot. So I hope you guys try these out. Let me know what you guys think of these builds. I'm going to show you guys some gameplay now just to break it down and show you how to use the Vampire build and the Archfiend max DPS build in battle. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. So this is the balanced Vampire build here. You can see that I just protected polish. Generally speaking, you want to protected polish as you're moving into the battle arena, or the area, I guess. But yeah, my blade is flashing on the top left. You can see that flash there. That means we have 1 minute to be able to just damage without losing any sharpness. Now with this build, again, you want to remember, you want to break one part. Focus on breaking one part early on so that you have a healing spot. So I'm going to focus the head here. I'm going to try and break the head as fast as possible so that anytime after that, throughout the rest of the hunt, I can just go back to the head and heal my health. Okay, completely flaked on that. Let him come down a little bit. We probably could have flashed, actually. I'll use the flash later. Things are going to happen in a hunt. Sometimes you get hit. I am not practiced Rathalos enough for this, but I still enjoy this fight. MR Rathalos is a really fun fight. Okay, so we're getting some hits on the head. We are hoping for a stun at some point. Just if Bug can actually get a stun here at some point, that'd be the best. Gonna need to do a little bit more damage for a KO though. And there's the break. Alright, so already head broken on the Rathalos. Again, he has a really good hit stone for Dragon, so this is a perfect weapon for him. So within the first minute and a half, we were able to get the break on the head. Now I have a healing spot for the rest of the hunt. I didn't particularly like that he was in this corner. I was trying to draw him out, but I guess we'll just flash him. And right down by Playstyles, I want to make the red orb. Oh, there it is. The red orb is there. We used one by mistake. But because of that, I can switch scrolls, use the Awakened Kinsect. Rathalos is still flash. He has no idea where I am. I can get some damage and use the Insect Spiker. Or Enhanced Spiker, I think is what it's called. There we go. Got our buffs back immediately with the red buff. We can switch back to blue for more extra melee damage. Again, Dereliction improves the raw damage on the blue scroll. So that is kind of one loop of the attack pattern that I've been playing with this Insect Glaive particularly. With an assist Insect, that's kind of my loop to go around. So we're going to try and use blue scroll again to get more damage until we get a stun on his head. Or maybe knock him or something like that. And we'll switch back to red scroll. and then use the Awakened Kinsect, switch back to Blue Scroll. You can see my health is pretty high up there even after getting hit a couple times, right? The head hit zone is my healing, and for me it's more than enough. I feel like having more than one blood right is too much. Like, you heal way too quickly. Like, it'll keep you alive, but you can't take advantage then of resentment. So here again, we got another dust cloud, and we got the flash off, so I can switch over. He doesn't know where I am. He's doing the double spin, so his head's gonna end up right where he started. There we go. Got the nice triple 194s on the head. So yeah, that's generally about the gameplay loop that you're going to have to go around if you're using this first build. I'm going to do a quick look at the second build as well, the Archfiend one. So this one, I have no healing, no Malzeno healing. The Qurio is just going to keep eating me, and I got to switch skill to heal myself or use potions. So this one, again, you don't really need to focus one part. I like to just focus the head. You're going to focus the weakest part of the body, and Malzeno is very weak to Dragon on the head. So you can see I haven't switched my my switch skills yet. I know that I need to use that for healing later on. We're going to save that for just a little bit down the road here. What you actually want to do is save that switch skill evade for an attack that you can predict. So you can see right here, I'm going to see him jump up, and I do the evade just to dodge the attack. There it is. I got my health back, and we can go back, break the head. Clean break. So we can continue getting some more damage down on the head. That's going to continue until I need more health. In an ideal situation with this build, what you want is you actually want to be able to make that red cloud appear and then switch skill over to do the Awakened Kinsect attack. Going back and forth between Awakened Kinsect attack and then back to your regular melee damage, you'll be able to heal in between with the switch skill. Other than that, you really just got to watch your health, use the potions when you need to. So you can see here, we're pretty low. I'm going to pot a little bit and then get back into the damage. So that's pretty much it. The rest is basically the same gameplay. The main difference with this build is that you want to be able to time that evade switch skill so that you get the heals off while still dodging the monster. It's going to be very important to make sure that you're still very efficient in a hunt. You can also see with the 1 handicraft and the 3 master jewels, we're still good in the pink here, purple sharpness. We're still pretty good. We're looking okay. It's been almost 4 minutes into the hunt now, and we still have that purple sharpness going. We still got a couple more hits to go. And I've also messed up a little bit. Like, this is not the most efficient hunt. Definitely not at all. Just skipping forward to the end of this area here. So now the monster's moving. We still have purple sharpness. So in a typical hunt, if the monster moves, again, you should have enough sharpness with this build. If not, though, if you're actually stun locking them and being very efficient about the hunt, you will need to sharpen just a little bit more. But honestly, there's no build out there that's going to be able to keep your sharpness at purple for the entire hunt unless it's a very special or unique blade. So that's about it for this one, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Until next time, stay safe, be happy, and keep hunting. Sky Sensei is out.